The handoff, now Lance. Matt Judon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have its hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. How it's long distance now? Let's go to that play.
And connecting here with DJ Shark. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Lance looking to throw it. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. This defense for the Saints, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
We know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And they'll go for it. Lance. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he is going to have a Ravens first down. It's a gain of 12 on 4th. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football.
Touchdown! DJ Chark, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Ravens put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. from the gun. Here's Watson. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody covered. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to that end zone real fast.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Now a first down throw. Watson slings this deep from McLaurin. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go. We've seen teams get off the hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they're on the first or second seed come playoff time.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. It's Mixon on the counter. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 43. Last play they got stumped at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Looking to throw again on second down. Lance. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
From the 29, Lance. It's caught. Smith. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here we go.
Lance now on first down. Caught out right by Renfro. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he's brought down. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. On play action, Lance. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Trey Lance, a touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They'll send the tight end in motion. On 1st and 10, Watson. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
On first down, it's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Ravens are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But when the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing is Lance on third down. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I should have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting negative.
And that is caught, and the record is his. It's a touchdown. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
The extra point by Bass, up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
On first and 10, here's Lance. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances. After the interception, here's Watson.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit if they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Bass is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Going up top. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? When you think,
and he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Lance. Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Saints are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. In motion comes the tight end left. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson. And that is incomplete.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Faking the give. Now Watson. Able to find Isabella. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Watson on first down. That's caught downfield by Pickens. Oh, he's going to be brought down there in the field of play, and the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach. We can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Watson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And boy, that sure turned out well for them.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
They'll run on first down with Akers. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Now Watson. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. Past the 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick 6.
Hey, that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate. Those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Matt Milano able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Back to throw. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety.
An absolutely dominating series from that pass rush to record the safety. 3 sacks in a row shouldn't be possible against an NFL offensive line. But there they are, dropping him on 3 straight reps, the last of which came in the end zone for 2 points.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Lance. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Lance now on 3rd and goal. Steps away to his left. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, it creates a penalty.
And Lance now to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So that potentially a turning point here in this 3rd quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense. Delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense just added 2 more onto their lead, and now they'll see what they can do here offensively as they get it back following the free kick. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Mixing up the middle. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in the running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw pulled in by Renfro. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
On first down, Lance. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. 5 yards remain on second down. From the gun again to Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. If they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So when you factor in the safety, this now a 5-point swing.
And look, I'm not going to turn away a 5-point swing because 5 points, that's valuable. Don't get me wrong on this. But if they could have taken that safety and added 7 to it, now you're talking about a really big swing.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Off the option, here's Akers. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw is Watson. slings this deep for McLaurin. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with. They have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
He will find his man Chase complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Lance looking to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll move the chains.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And it's caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Jonnu Smith from 3 yards out. And the Ravens are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. And up 2 scores late. No clue why you do this here, but they're going to go for the onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Yeah, we saw that one up here, CD. Offensive team, they touched that before it went 10 yards.
Obviously such a fine line, letting it go the required 10 yards, but also getting to it before the hands team can. Just didn't time it out right, and that results in a flag.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. On 1st down, Watson. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Brought down back at the 38-yard line.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Ravens are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner, his 2nd sack of the night.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. That will be their 3rd and final stoppage, as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. To throw, it's Lance. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
This is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marquise Bell. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Down 2 scores, out of timeouts, a must recover if they're going to have any shot. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Let's go.
Lance going back to the air after the pick 6. Looking here for Smith downfield. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Saints are right back in this football game. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. And one tell me once, you know.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that will make this a 19-point game. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Second and 2. Watson. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
It's a gain of 18.
Here's Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On 2nd and goal, Watson. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Colin Johnson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
And they fake it. They pitch to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And still a little bit of time left, but the defense can't stop the clock, so 3 kneel downs should be enough to finish this one off. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Matt Judon able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Lance. That ball caught by Slayton. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back. And now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Lance and company going on fourth down. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Watson to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
One last throw here for Watson. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So the
I'm the best, and the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, you know I go, you know I go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, and the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, you know I go, you know I go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. For the break and they know I'm in prison. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking nothing from my boy heavy. I'm the best and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching her, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call it. Working big and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a do it, Mr. Know I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mail before we talk it that I'm waking up and coming through it. When the